From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Hello, welcome to Around Foxborough. I'm your host, Joe Sanders, and with me is a very special guest today. Welcome to you, Jaden Onwuakor. Jaden, how are you?
Good, how about you?
Well, Happy New Year. It is the new year here, we can say that. You know, Jaden, I have to be honest with you. I know you, and you know me. We've met before. I didn't know as much about you as I did recently, looking things up. There's so much we could talk about, but the topic for today, though, the main topic that we have is the Foxboro Short Film Festival. And you're a big part of that. I understand you started that. Can you tell us as much as you can about it? I have dates and things here, but just tell us about the film festival.
Yeah, so Foxboro Short Film Festival, obviously Foxboro, so it's based around here. The plan is to hold it in the Maryland Rodman Performing Arts Center. I came up with it actually myself, along with my mom as well. She's been helping out a lot with this idea. So can I tell you like how it started?
Yeah. That's why we're here. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so my mom actually said I should make my own Boston 48-hour film festival team and make my own film, and I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
Okay.
So I went ahead and made my own film festival because I'm like, that sounds a lot better than making my own film, which obviously making films are fun, but I prefer to give others opportunity to put their own films on the spot here. So Foxboro Short Film Festival, it's more of a, don't want to say beginner, but like definitely like a more friendly for like people getting into the filming industry and making short films and all that. And we have sponsorships. Our biggest one, Partners in Patriotism. We've gotten a grant for them, and it's truly amazing what they've done for us. Since now we have a spot in the, like I said, Maryland Rodman Performing Arts Center, so where we can have like a red carpet screening and like all that stuff, award ceremony. So yeah.
Well, you mentioned a couple things, and I happen to have written down some. I told you I did some research after I knew I was going to be interviewing you, and there are some dates here. I'll just read them off. I mean, you don't need for those that want to submit something for the film. It's the deadline for submission is April 1st, and then I see that it says here film nominations announcement will be on May 1st, right? And then June 4th and 5th is film screening at the Boyden Library community room between 3:30 and 6:30 p.m. And then June 6th is when you have the Maryland Rodman Performing Arts Center. Can you talk through what happens at the red carpet? Can you explain? People have heard the term red carpet, but kind of run through that for us.
So if you've seen like, I don't know, like the Oscars, if you tune into it early before the award ceremony, there'll probably be like a showing of the red carpet. So you see all those actors in their fancy dresses on the red carpet, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to be up there.
Okay.
So we're gonna have our own red carpet here for like the people who submitted their films and like those in it and those who helped. So that's red carpet.
Right.
You take pictures, say hi to people, all that stuff. Then you go in, that's the award ceremony and screening. The screening for, I believe, nominated films go first, and that's kind of like you go in, watch it, you see all those beautiful films that were submitted, and then after that is the award ceremony, where we have our master of ceremonies and myself talk for a bit, and then start announcing the winners of the awards.
So one thing that I am curious is Short Film Festival. Is there a definition to what short is? Because I can imagine seeing several films, it could be quite long. I mean, so is there a length of time associated with that, or?
So I myself like don't necessarily have a set time. Like a short film. Short film, like myself, like not like a 90-minute film you'd see on like a showcase or something like that. But I'd say something like around the 30-minute, 45-minute or less range. Obviously something you can just sit down and just watch freely without like being like, oh, I'm going to be here all night.
Right, okay.
And just like entertaining, and sometimes makes you want to see more, but obviously it's a short film.
Yeah.
But currently the Foxboro Short Film Festival's definition of a short film is 10 minutes and under.
Okay, all right, very good. So you might see a few of those at the screening then. I would imagine you see more than one on the night of the screening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds very interesting. You know, you said something that triggered a thought, and it doesn't surprise me. You talked about when you got involved with this. You said you could do a film, but you'd rather give others a chance to do that. And that is what I know of you. I've known you outside of the office, let's say, as a person that is a very, very good leader, and you seem to be the type of servant leader that I know, where you're always helping people. Tell me about that influence. What got you into leadership? I mean, I know you have goals. Can you talk a little bit about yourself?
So what got me into leading, I don't necessarily have like what actually like pushed me over the edge into like having like, oh yeah, I want to lead and all this stuff. It's like when you talk more like in groups and all that, and like kind of manage, like at school, like you see it. Obviously, you see it too. Yeah. But I'd say when I started doing karate, like, they started teaching kind of like the basis of leading and like following too. Following is a huge part in leading because you need to learn how to follow to lead. And then what finally pushed me over the edge was Civil Air Patrol. Okay. They really taught me how to become a leader, and like the lessons about like servant leadership, like you said, and like just different forms of leading. Yeah, that's really what pushed me over the edge. Okay. There.
Well, you said the karate. I know you have a black belt in karate, personal best, right? And yeah, the servant leadership, you touched on that. That's something you and I have actually talked about that off camera about more than once. And I see that you live that way. There's a lot of things here. I'm looking down because there are more things. When I decided to, even though I know you, to do some research, I got to read a couple of these things for our friends around town here. Okay, 2 years ago, you were nominated for a New England Emmy at the Boston New England Center for the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Can you talk about that a little bit? I want to hear you brag.
So I don't know if I'd like to brag that much, but really, I do New England Sports Network, or NESN for short. I do their NESN Clubhouse, which is a kids baseball television show, which is slowly transitioning out to like all New England sports. So me doing that, how long have I been doing it? Like 3 years now? Okay. Yeah, about, I think 3 years. All right. Someone can correct me later. Yeah. The first year got me an Emmy, and then for like the entire show. So me and the other co-host went down to Boston and got to sit through the award ceremony. Wow. Unfortunately, didn't win, but obviously being there is like huge privilege and experience. Second year, I got nominated for another Emmy in Diversity, Equity, Inclusion for my interview with Masataka Yoshida for the Red Sox.
Yeah, I remember that. I also know, because I've seen this, I've seen you play the trumpet, I've seen you play the bagpipe. Tell me more. I mean, how did you get in? How do you choose all the things you're going to get involved with? It's amazing. I mean, when did those start?
Yeah, so lots of those things, especially the musical part, influenced by my mom. How I got into trumpet, she said, "Oh yeah, do you want to try the trumpet?" When I was like kindergarten. Back then, I was up for anything, so I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go." Okay. So I went to a part of my old school building that I haven't been to. I'm like, "Where's this?" And I meet my trumpet teacher, Mr. Grandel, and oh my gosh, he's absolutely amazing. Trumpet, you just start with just some notes, but slowly you get better and better. And it's one of those instruments that take like a long time to get better and perfect, like any other thing. But like, obviously I'm biased, so I love that instrument. Yeah. And yeah, I've just stuck with it for about, I don't know how long. Like, yeah. Definitely over 5 years, 6 years. Right.
So, you know, one of the things that I know about you that I think is somewhat at your core was this desire for the Civic Air Patrol. Could you tell us a little bit about some of your experiences there, or like experiences, some of the training, and why you love it so much?
Yeah, so Civil Air Patrol is the official United States Air Force auxiliary. It has a cadet program, senior program, but what really makes it Civil Air Patrol, I think, like obviously we don't run without the seniors, but what makes up the core of it, I believe, is like the cadets. And we have a lot of cadets nationwide. Mm-hmm. Why I love it is because of just like the community there and like how much you actually learn and can benefit off of Civil Air Patrol. So like I said, you learn leadership, servant leadership, I learned from there. And like that's where most of my leadership skills actually come mm-hmm. from. But also like aerospace knowledge and character development and just discipline and all that stuff.
So what type, give me an example of somewhere of a training, or are these weeks of training you've been to, or you've been to classes on weekends, or can you talk a little bit more about the Civil Air Patrol, because you learn about leadership. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Some of the trainings you've been to, or length of training and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so we have weekly meetings, about like 3 hours if you're staff, or like 2 hours 30 or like normal cadets. So you'd be there every week.
Where would these be held?
Literally anywhere
across
the states. You just have to go to the Civil Air Patrol website and find the squadron closest to you.
Okay.
Like for us right here, believe like it'd be Braintree, Boston.
Okay.
Those areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm part of Boston, so you'd find Civil Air Patrol Squadron there.
Okay.
So once again, I go there every week.
Were they on weekends, or when do you have your meetings? These are meetings or training sessions?
So they're called meetings.
Okay.
But like, yeah, you do train there.
Are push-ups involved? You don't have to answer that one.
Yeah, we have a CAP fitness test.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's like fitness test. You have to keep yourself fit.
Yeah.
But it's instrumental to promoting.
Okay.
So yeah, it's so for Boston Squadron, so hours are different for each squadron, but for Boston Squadron, it's from 3:45 to 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
On weekends, yeah, Saturdays.
Okay, on Saturday night. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the type of training, like you said, extended training and all that. Mm-hmm. What you start off as a cadet, it's called encampment. And it's a 7-day-long program that kind of simulates basic training, but obviously on like a lower and shorter scale. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
Like obviously, kids don't spend that far away from like their parents,
right.
So kids can get homesick.
Yeah.
I actually slightly got homesick when I was on my first encampment. It's tough. You can get yelled at, but not like everybody gets yelled at.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot. Like
mm-hmm.
I learned a lot of drill. You attend classes, maybe like 4 hours of your day. Mm-hmm. Wake up 6 a.m., banging on the doors, wake up cadets until like 9:30 p.m. in the night, talking to your buddies, and then lights out.
Okay.
So I've gone twice, once as a basic.
These are 1 week, approximately 1 week sessions, each one of these, or?
Yeah,
okay.
For 7 days during the summer. And I went to New Hampshire for my first one, which was actually Massachusetts, Devens, Fort
mm-hmm.
Devens.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to Tennessee.
Oh, really?
For my second one as a flight sergeant. So that's also where my leadership knowledge comes from. I was a flight sergeant, and I saw lots of stuff
yeah.
as a flight sergeant, and lots of the planning processes and all that. Talked to lots of cadets. Obviously, nobody was from my area because I'm out in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. But you really learn a lot mm-hmm. from other people, and that's why it's such a great program. You learn a lot.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Tennessee. My first roommate as a cadet at West Point was from Tennessee. Boy, did I learn a lot in the first couple months being there. Because here I was from Detroit. I mean, totally different background, you know. Mm. And I think that's part of the leadership there, is learning to live with people, right? I mean, you mentioned servant leadership. This has always been a topic that fascinates me. Can you tell a little bit on that topic in general? What does that mean, servant leadership?
Yeah, so servant leadership is a basic, not really basic, but like a good, easy to learn concept, but like hard to master and all mm-hmm. that. because it requires lots of awareness. But servant leadership, it's in the name. You be a servant to like your peers or the people under you.
Okay.
So let me get an example to think of. So say I have like cadets that require some, like shining their boots. I would teach them, I would shine their boots for them, and then that would be part of servant leadership. You serve your people.
Okay.
And you know, that kind of like gives them a sense of respect for you, because they know you'll do anything for them, because once again, you can't have a team with like, if they're all gone and you can't handle them. Right. So, you know, you need to serve them and like be part of them.
Yeah, I've heard you know, this is for me, it's a very personal, I had bosses in my life that, you know, sometimes I didn't respect them as much, but the ones that I really respected, and I've had a lot of them, were ones that I knew they had my back. You know, they cared about me. It's always about the job, but you take care of the people, you know, and they know you care about them, then you're now the servant leader and people want to follow. I think that's a fascinating concept. It's pretty simple. A lot of people don't get it, which is, you know, confuses me as to why, because the best leaders, I think, are really good servant leaders. And I'll be honest with you, for all the folks in Foxborough, we've got a great servant leader sitting right across from me here. Well, let's go back a little bit more, round back to the film festival, okay? And so what if you're, you know, obviously you're interested in as many people as possible to sign up, but you know, what would you say to encourage someone that's been thinking about, you know, thinks about it but doesn't know what to do? I mean, how would they start this process, you know, if they're interested?
Yeah, so obviously there's like some points you could go off of, like, oh, something you've always wanted to do but you really can't, so turn it into a film. Oh, a passion you love, do it, turn it into a film. Like any abstract idea, turn it into a film, or go to our website, foxboroshortfilmfestival.com. Okay. Look at the awards and see which award you want to go for. Okay. That's also completely an option. Okay.
So the different, I didn't look at that. Are there different categories of? There must be categories of awards. I mean, can you talk about those? Or I mean, I did not see that when I was looking.
Yeah. So we have our youth and adult divisions, and we have Universal. So youth awards strictly for like 18 under. Okay. Or yeah, 18 under, and like say 12-year-old. And his friends were making film, they'd probably get a youth award, not an adult award. Okay. Youth awards have like different awards you can get. Meanwhile, adult awards, I know like one of them, you could get a membership to Women in Film Video New England with me, which is a truly outstanding organization. Yeah. You could get that as an award in the adult division. But for Universal, it means awards that can be given to both divisions.
Okay, so you got really the three, you get youth, the adult, and Universal. And,
yeah. Okay. So like we have Best Film Youth, Best Film Adult, and then Best Film like Universal. Okay. Like obviously we have like two different panels, because like adults judging a kid's film wouldn't, like, it makes sense, but also the fact that they might not understand it like another like, youth would.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I'm looking forward to, I've got it on my calendar, our June 6th. That's for the general public can watch that, right? That's what the June 6th is, or is that only for people that have applied?
No, fill up the theater.
Okay, good.
Fill up the theater.
Yeah, so on June 6th, this year, right, June 6th, 2025, over at the Maryland Rodman Performing Arts Center, you will be there and showing us this is the first one, right? This is the first, the first hopefully annual short film festival for Foxborough. Anything else that you'd like to talk about? We have a minute or two. Anything that you'd like to bring up, or that we might have overlooked?
Yeah, film. Go film. Like it's. I've been on film sets before, and like they're chaotic, but they're so much fun. Okay. They're so much fun. Do it. Enjoy yourself. Submit. Very cheap, I'd say, like very affordable submission prices. All you have to do, look at Film Freeway at our website and just submit.
Okay.
Kind of want to touch on like the passion, for people like confused, like what do I film about? Already gave a few examples, but like once again, anything you love.
Yeah.
Literally anything you love. You could make a film about cameras while you're filming with a camera.
Yeah.
And that could win an award itself. So,
yeah.
you know, just be creative. Literally anything.
That's good. Well, I'm looking forward to coming and seeing the results of all this on June 6th. And Jaden, good luck to you. For those of you that don't know, Jaden is currently in 8th grade at the Ahern Middle School. I happen to be a teacher or a special education assistant there, so I see him periodically. So it's good to see you heading to the high school next year, and good luck to you. Good luck with this and in all your servant leadership pursuits. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, this is Joe Sanders saying this is another edition of Around Foxborough. See you next time.